YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of Otomo here, and we are back in the Shogun It campaign, emphasis on the gun, as you all know, and, you know, I was thinking we'd have a fairly easy road to Kyoto, but, apparently the Takeda, including their daimyo, which is Takeda Shingen, he is here, and he is ready to sacrifice himself to the cause of my guns, and probably the 6th or 7th daimyo under the, Shogun under the Oda, will also be heading to a searing hot lead-induced death at the hands of my Portuguese terços. So, pretty excited about having this one going again. I got busy with the Rome Remastered campaign, and this one slowed down. Sorry that it slowed down, but, you know, I will have you back to your normal as soon as I can. It does take a lot longer to record this one because I do the cinematic battles on it. So you'll have to be more patient occasionally of letting me get around to making it. So, in any case, here we are. We need to continue our crusade to become the Shogun. I was hoping to kind of lay an ambush here, see if we can lure in Shingen and his ilk. I'm going to end a turn, and let's just see what... Oh, my agent spam. Either didn't see or didn't go for my ninja, so I'm pretty lucky. Hopefully they don't get my missionary up there either. Let's see what happens here. They're going to immediately go for one of my ports, and this port is protected by an Anban trade ship and lots of escorts, so this is most likely doomed to fail. I think I'm going to... I mean, you all have seen how these naval battles go. I mean, there's just not much to see here. I'm not going to show this one because I want to save some more recording time for, you know, hopefully some bigger land battles against Takeda Shingen and the rest. I know, it's going to be a shocker, folks. So hang on to your butts, but we won. Again, shocking. But is it really funny anymore? I guess it kind of is. Watching all their ships sink in an abysmal display of poor performance from the AI. I guess it doesn't get too old. And speaking of, I guess they need a repeat demonstration here, so again, I'm going to take care of this one off screen. Alright, again, in a major shocker, I pulled off another, you know, it's just epically close victory. I mean, the AI was almost there, another 6,000 ships, and I would have run out of cannonballs, and they would have probably, you know, eventually defeated me after my men got drunk, fell asleep, and fell overboard, thus killing themselves. I think you all get where I'm going with this. And while I was teasing them, I guess they decided that a third helping on this turn end was needed. And once again, in a stunning turn of events, Heir wins. I know. Again, hard to imagine. I wanted to get to a few of their comments from last time. The Lost Creeper says, "Hey, Heir, when will you do the Warhammer campaign with Mrs. Heir? That is coming up soon. I am working on it." So I did lose one agent for sure. We had sea trade routes raided. Get rid of all these ships here. I do not want this heavy Bune. Just extra upkeep, and it's not worth it. And then, let's see, I've got an extra O ship there, and then these extra ships. I do want my Firebomb Kabaya to stay here. Get rid of those ships. Okay, and back here I've got ships to get rid of. Yeah, just these three. Alright. So, the enemy fleets continue to add to the Otomo Artificial Reef Program. And we will be known throughout the medieval world as having some of the finest artificial reefs that were ever known. Ever. So, good stuff. Good stuff. We don't have any trade income to protect anymore from these ports over here, so it makes me wonder if I could free up my stuff. There is a Hanma Navy here with an attached army, which is rather sizable. I think that that army came out here originally for swim lessons, and so I really want to hurry and help them get in the water, you know, so that they can get over their fear and become more proficient swimmers. So I will see where they've gone to so that I can tend to their lessons. Where did they go to? How did they just, like, disappear off the map? I attacked them, and they disappeared so far that I can't even seem to find their fleet anymore. I don't know whether to be annoyed or impressed. It'll be a mix of both, no doubt. Alright, so it appears that Takeda Shingen has sought to bypass our settlement here, and for some reason we weren't... Wait, huh? What was I just looking at that showed me not replenishing? It's been a different army. We are replenished and ready to go, and I'm going to come up here and attack Takeda Shingen. Hopefully we can kill him off here. He's brought some of his his brothers to die with him, so this is good. It means that it'll really disrupt their line. I'm going to be trying again to use some techniques that Warner taught me, or how to get more shots out of my Terso, so we will see whether that works. Let's go ahead and fight this one. They got pretty decent bow line, but we'll be alright. OTOMO Yoshishige versus Takeda Shingen. The soon-to-be Shogun, yes, emphasis on gun, facing off against the famous Horse Lord. And here he is. Let's go take a look at Takeda Shingen. He does have a pretty fancy get-up there. So you can see him ready for combat. Speaking of ready for combat, I'm bringing up my Portuguese terços, and I am using Warner's commands, meaning it's kind of a method he taught me for double right-clicking an attack order outside of range. They move into range and then fire all three of their volleys quickly, and you can see that we decimate their bow samurai line near instantly, and then are able to get off even more volleys before the enemy can even respond with the Yari Samurai. So I would say that was a pretty resounding success for my terços, decimating 2 Yari Samurai and multiple bow samurai. It looks like 4 bow samurai units got half or more killed, and then the 2 Yari Samurai were weakened substantially. Then I'm going to fall back and use my stand and fight, which is basically a way to make my Yari and Katana line near invincible because of all the buffs they're going to get. So you can see I now have my Yari walls all set up. One of my Katana Samurai gets a little bit zealous here, and chasing a Yari Samurai gets a little bit ahead of itself. Not exactly where I want them. I'll have to retreat them in a moment, but you can see the initial wave of Yari Samurai from the Takeda get put to a quick end. You can see my Nagi Sam here having a pretty easy time with this Yari Ashigaru. But here comes the main Takeda force. It's the rest of their Yari Ashigaru and their Yari Samurai. They are pretty Yari heavy in this army. They did not come packing katana, and they're going to meet my Yari wall in a very unpleasant way. That Katana Samurai that got it ahead of itself, I went ahead and retreated it behind the Yari wall so that it wouldn't be completely killed. And then you can see my Nagi Sam holding up the flank over here. Speaking of flank, one of the Takeda generals made a run for my right flank. He was quickly intercepted by my Yari Cav. And then I've moved my matchlocks out here, and at that point, Takeda Shingen just went down over here. Or, no, that was this general. I think Shingen is still fighting. Yeah, here he is, actually, right here. So, on the flank, my cavalry is starting to break through. We're being chased by Yari Samurai, but nothing we can't handle. They can see Shingen right up against a Yari wall right there, and I think that may have been him that just went down. I can't tell. This is his bodyguard.
My lord, their general has fallen.
So there were multiple bodyguards, and they have all gone down. My terços are now reset on this flank and are massacring anything there. You can see that really the AI has nothing left except for this single Yari-Sam out here, which gets shotgunned in the back in a disgraceful and shameful display. So that's going to be the end of Takeda Shingen. Oh, that was great. And there we have it, a crushing victory against Takeda Shingen. 0 forces remaining. I only lost 518, so we got an over 3-to-1 kill ratio there. Good and sorted here, man. My Naginata were having a day of it. So were my bow samurais. The Turcos performed much better this time, thanks to Warner's advice. I was able to get off some, even though they took massive bow fire early on, they got all 3 of their volleys off much quicker early on and got a ton of kills on the enemy bow samurai. In fact, they mostly neutered the enemy bow samurai in that initial volley, and then they got some extra kills on a few other units throughout it. So, I mean, coming in at a whopping 143, 134, and they were consistent here too, where they placed. They did very well. Very well. That Nagi samurai is absolutely on fire, man. 213 kills and only lost 27. Good grief. Air's Dragons, we'll have to rename them. Anyway, a cutting blow, as it is said by the game. Suckers. So we will be replenishing rather well here. And I don't know where the other stacks went from, or went to, I should say. Don't have great chances, but we're just going to run every chance we can at assassinating these Metsuke. Enemy wounded. Wow, that's quite fortuitous. I'm very grateful for that. We lost an agent on the last turn, which sucks, so glad to make them pay a little price here too. Wow, I got lucky there. Holy cow. 2 straight. That is not bad at all. Not bad at all. We can grab the ninja that we lost here as well. So, oh man, I will take that. That is some fantastic results. How many ninjas do I have? I got 5. I think they're all right up here. And I have this priest who's making his way towards the front. I do have some cash at this point, so let's kind of get back to where we were at with certain upgrades. There was the land consolidation I should do here at Inaba, and I'm going to start off with a Sake Den, and we'll upgrade the stronghold as well. So we'll spend all of our cash at Inaba. We're going to need to secure it. Looks like my army is replenished here. Tajima is our next castle along the way. So this army, like I said, should be replenished rather soon. This army is kind of back here and waiting. We haven't needed to call on them yet. And then I am going to probably go ahead and make an artificial reef out of all these fleets back here. This is really annoying. I don't know what happened to the Hanma fleet, but my black ship is hungry, and here's some food. So I will take care of this one. Well, I mean, at this point, the black ship's cannons are pretty well honed in. Not even sure how there's any lumber left in Japan to facilitate the building of any new navies. Really quite insane. I don't need this captured ship. I'm going to get rid of it. And then I'm going to start moving back over to... No. You don't be crazy like that. You come here. Alright, so we're going to begin moving back to that point. I've got another fleet here that we could go clear out some of those others, but it's not much of a worry. They really don't have access to any of my trade routes. We've done our damage, and we've got some buildings going that we need to this turn. I really need to get a missionary free. Hoping, yeah, Hoki is going to stay happy, at least at the moment. Now, I need to look oops, I clicked off screen. I need to look... Come on, I'm not clicking off screen. I'm clicking the finance button. Alright, there we go. Mimasaka is currently the only province that is not paying taxes, and that's fine. They're probably in a bit of a rough position right now. Not like me to be charitable, but, you know, so be it. So be it. Alright, let's end our turn. See what the AI's got cooked up for us. Probably more ill-thought-out naval attacks, agent spam, and the like. Please don't get my missionary. Did he, like, convert or something in the process? I don't know what happened. Or level up, maybe? Yasuke increases in rank. Apprehension attempt. Invasion force lands. Wako threat. From prosperity. Yeah, let's go ahead and pay with that. That should pay off. Alright, so the Harakayama have landed a force outside of Castle Bizen. What I'm going to do is move up into an ambush stance here. Then they won't see me coming. Yeah, this Metsuke just increased in rank is what it is. Let's find my best ninja in the vicinity, which is probably almost none of them because they've all been killed or tried and killed. Got a chance of getting this Metsuke. It's not a good chance, but... Okay, we failed. I mean, my luck only is going to run so far. Failed in our character conversion. So, I'm probably not going to be able to do much about the Metsuke. However, that won't stop me from trying. I'm going to take all of my extremely low chances. And see if we get lucky. Never know. Ha! A 10% chance 4 times, you know, it adds up. I'm gonna go check on the troop deployments outside Harima. Nothing to be concerned about at the moment. If the Harakayama make the foolish attempt at the castle, it won't go well. It has defenses, not particularly amazing defenses, but it has defenses. And I have nearby troops to get retribution on anybody who thinks that they can hold it. So let's see, we're going to go ahead and build roads at Inaba. I'm going to go ahead and spend some money on this new territory here, try and improve it, and then I'll take what money I have left and make improvements to the gambling halls and such in these other settlements, which get me slightly more money, not much. Not a whole lot to write home about, but it's something. There is the Hanma fleet that got away. Get out of my way. It's like one of the only naval battles I can safely auto-resolve. The AI has to be practically dead already. Ran away from me last time. They could blockade that port, but I don't really think it matters because there's no trade income coming out from it. Because there's no other factions I'm trading with. Ergo, only my foreign trade is worth anything. And the AI really can't do much about it unless they just attack my black ships. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. See, that forced them back, and now they cannot get away. So the Hanma's ill-prepared navy here. I'm just going to auto-resolve. Nothing to see here. Move along. There goes their army, along with their fleet. So, nice job, Hanma. Did I get another Sengokabune that I don't need or want? Okay. Come back down here and just kind of help plug in the ports still. Keep ourselves safe. Alright, the Hatakeyama, their army dropped off. I think it's time for me to end another turn. I'm going to try and get a couple more comments here. Jump on and see what we got. So Steve J says, just so you know, the C in Tersos is pronounced like an S. Yep, I think I've been saying that a couple of times this episode as best I can. Francesco says, Reef Program, lol, that is one of my least favorite things about Shogun 2, the OP agents. Yeah, the agents were pretty OP. You can tell that CA knew it because they they converted another one of my characters. Because they really changed how characters worked in Warhammer 1 and 2. And so you can tell that they were aware that they had an issue. Now look at this, the Hatakeyama army just lands and runs as far behind me as they can run. So that's cute, but I'm not going to allow it, so I'm going to sabotage this army, see if we can fix them in position. And now I have to chase them down. Alright, so they are sabotaged. They'll be held there. And my ninja ranked up, so that's great news. I got a Metsuke who ranked up back there too, so I'm going to have to go check that out. Let's see here. 10% of the chance the ninja will avoid detection when unsuccessful. Critical success chance. Subterfuge when sabotaging buildings, when spying. I like sabotaging armies, so I'm going to split a little bit there. Right here, army sabotage was quite important. Ah, they had 2 armies. Good grief. So they're going to try and dump everybody over here. Let's see if we can sabotage this one as well. A lot lower chance, and it's pretty costly. There we go. So we did manage to sabotage that army. Let's take our assassination chance here. Wow. Man, I'm having some pretty good luck in this episode with my agents. I normally like to complain, and kind of appropriately so, but in this case, it's really working out pretty good. Gonna spread that out a little there. This ninja leveled up as well. Flash bomb, subterfuge, and assassinating. Let's do that and do the same thing here. Kind of split. Make them decent at both things. So I've got 2 of their armies sitting in front of me sabotaged. I lost an agent there. Go ahead and recruit him back. Gonna be the only way we can possibly stay ahead of this. Go ahead and build a market here. And we'll go ahead and improve the Christian church. And build a gambling hall at Inaba. So Inaba should be coming under control. Relatively steady pace. You have this missionary. We could use it and see if we get lucky and demoralize the army over here. Might as well. Try and get some work out of him while he's walking up here. Alright, we failed. I don't like failure, but no, not the end of the world. Go ahead and repair some ships here. Excellent. So got our ships in for repair. AI is powerless against my trade, which means that we're going to continue making big bucks, which means that the AI's time on the map is limited. I really just need more armies, and we have a huge amount of money. So I think what I'm going to do, even though this army is not great, I'm going to move it up to the front and use it to kind of just hold provinces. Like I said, it's not going to be great, but it has enough to do the job that we need it to do at the moment, which is let our better armies win. So I'm going to go ahead and give it orders to move up here. And then I can train a few more troops back here, just in case an invading army manages to land behind us. Let's go ahead and upgrade this Metsuke here. Got a missionary back here, apparently. Convert provinces. Gonna need a lot of that. And let's go ahead and pull that missionary out of here and get him headed back somewhere more useful. He must have gotten imprisoned by Metsuke and found himself back at my capital. Okay. Once again, I think it is time for me to end the turn. Grab a couple more comments here. Alric says, thanks for another enjoyable episode, Air. Even when you're trying to laugh the salt off. Thanks for showing that naval battle at the beginning. I always like some sweet black ship action. Yeah, the black ship is fun. Now, Mimasaka. Oh, okay, so I guess they had an army that got to Mimasaka. This kind of sucks because I'm busy. And I just spent some money improving Mimasaka. This is a shameful display by the Oda Shogunate and won't stand. But they'll feel happy momentarily. Oh, I think they sieged me at the with my other army too. Well, at least we got some stuff going on. Definitely appropriate to be bringing up another army because it would have helped prevented what has happened here. We got sabotaged. We lost a province. Castle is under siege. Army crushed. That was just our garrison, so call it what it is. We had another agent convalesce, which I was thinking we were rather short on missionaries. Oh my goodness, this guy is like the Pope. Look at him. So let's get him moving up here. Alright, so these two armies have kind of been frozen in place. I need to sabotage this army for a second time. Really? I mean, that's what I get for saying that I was having good luck with my agents, and then we get fed that crap sandwich. Alright, and the crap sandwiches keep coming. Even with better chances this time. So I guess that I got all my luck in one turn, and then I failed 5 sabotage attempts straight. The least of, I mean, 5 sabotage attempts straight. We failed there. That is impressive. Let's see if we can fail 6 straight attempts here with this missionary. Oh, nope, there we go. So I was 1 for 6 on this turn, so my luck is back to normal. Hey, what are you waiting on? Like, there we go. We're gonna go crush this Harakayama army. Obviously, I will show you all what happens here. So the Hatakeyama have run to the very back of the map and hidden on a hill, and as is typical for the AI, they're not even using the best part of the hill to defend. They could have placed their troops right along this ridge line and all in the woods to protect them from my missile troops, and then use their archers from the wood line and done pretty well against me. But of course the AI isn't even good at camping, so they've gone to the very top of the hill in the back thinking that the highest elevation is what's better for them, but I disagree. I'm moving Nagi Samurai, which are heavily armored, through the woods. These guys will be somewhat resistant to bow fire, and especially in the woods, they'll be fairly resistant to bow fire. I could even put them into a loose formation, and honestly probably should have already, and I'm using them to lead my cavalry up the flanks. This flank is where my Donderbus cavalry is, and the Donderbus cavalry in a camping situation becomes a very powerful tool because the AI is just not capable of prioritizing targets. You're going to see him use some flaming arrows here, and they're moving up a whole bunch of bow ashigaru, and I have put my own bow samurai in front of my army in a loose formation, and they're now all the way up in the woods, which means that the AI is not really going to have a very great bow advantage. So I'm returning fire, I'm sending some fire into one of their imported matchlock ashigaru. So they are actually attempting to use guns against me, which I guess is quite hilarious, as that is a fool's errand. So you can see here the ashigaru units lobbing their volleys over to try and fight my bow ashigaru, who again are returning fire into the imported matchlock ashigaru, and all of this was part of the plan. You basically get their attention fixed on one thing, and then you bring in the thing that is going to hurt them much, much more. So here comes my Donderbus cavalry, and this bow ashigaru can pretty much kiss the world goodbye, as they get utterly decimated in the first of many volleys of searing hot lead coming off my Donderbus cavalry. And so yeah, that's going to be a good start. So again, I'm going to fall back behind my Nagi Samurai. I'm going to use the Nagi Samurai as bait, and I'm going to continue to push my advantage with the Donderbus cavalry. The Tersos I will move in later, but again, right now I'm just kind of toying with the AI and getting all kinds of early advantage. You can see again my Yari Cav being led by a Nagi Samurai, so the AI can't just chase me with spear units. So the AI continues to be somewhat fixated on my Nagi-Sam, and the Nagi-Sam will take occasional losses to their bow fire, but it's going to be slow. And so now that more units are out here, I'm going to go revisit them again with my Donderbus Cavalry, because again, I'm moving through the woods, which gives me some protection, and we're going to get up here and decimate this Yari Ashigaru and another Bow Ashigaru. So the Yari Ashigaru took pretty massive losses there as well. I've already racked up 43 kills on one and 80 kills on another Donderbus, and as the Yari Ashigaru come down here, they're like, no, we really don't want to fight those upgraded Nagi-Sam. I'm like, look at that, 18 attack, 12 defense, 12 armor. Yeah, these are some pretty mean Nagi Samurai. That is not what they want to be getting into a fight with. So you can see the Yari Ashigaru falling back, and I'm kind of just continuing to push this same strategy here. There's really no reason for me to get any particular rush. I mean, the AI trying to defend this hill position while being picked at by Donderbus Cavalry is an absolute loser of a strategy, as you can see. And no, I'm not too good to shoot the enemy in the back. So my Donderbus Cavalry gets another devastating volley there. One of them just jumped up to 116 kills, and as the AI starts to lob archer fire at them, I just retreat out of range, and then I've got my Nagi Samurai pushing in so that the AI has something to be fixated on. Even after all the bow fire, they've only taken 14 losses. They'll take more losses before the end of the battle, but they can handle it, and they don't mind dying for their Salt Lord here. So the AI decides to send a Yari Ashigaru up the middle to try and chase down my Bow Samurai. This is a pretty ill-advised move. They're going to take a little bit of bow fire on the way in, and then I'm going to fall down the hill a little bit to give my Tersos room to fire, and I'll let you all see what goes on here. They're going to chase my Bow Samurai, and they'll actually even catch me there for a moment. My Bow Samurai are a little tired, but now my Tersos are turned around and in position, and they've got a pretty good vantage point here. I'm going to pull the Bow Samurai out of that fight so I can open up a line. Probably take a few friendly shots here, but you know me, I'm willing to risk that type of thing. So comes the Yari Ashigaru, and then they're like, oh no, we don't really want to fight all that, and they'll be shot in the back for their trouble as well. So just devastating volleys of matchlock fire. And I'm going to go ahead and push my army forward. We shattered that unit, and again, I'm playing games with my Donderbus Cavalry. I uncovered a Yari Cavalry hidden in the woods. This is precisely why I brought the Nagi-Sam, which is starting to take quite a bit heavier bow fire here. They're down to only 79 units because they had to move out of the woods, but this is just the purpose that I brought them for. So see, the Yari Cavalry wants to lock on to my Donderbus Cavalry and put an end to my fun, and the Nagi Samurai say, oh no, not so fast, sirs. If you'll please pull over here and show me your ID. Yeah, anyway, my Donderbus Cavalry went ahead and finished that fight quickly. So the Yari Cav is out of the way, and again, this allows me to bring up my Nagi-Sam. I'm going to actually push the Nagi-Sam slightly over here to the right, and then I'll swing my Donderbus Cavalry around here and start wiping out all the archers. The AI wanted to have a gunfight with me, and even though my Tersos hasn't reloaded, I was still more than happy to give him a gunfight. I appreciate an enemy who wants to fight properly. Not that they'll last very long doing it, but, you know, gotta give them credit for getting out their gun, and standing and fighting. It wasn't for very long. My Tersos completely outmatched them, but, you know, one way or the other. I'm gonna move the Donderbus Cavalry in and continue to give the Harakayama a lot of doses of searing hot lead until they have had enough that their prescription has been filled. And my Nagi Samurai see here are just basically blocking the enemy cavalry from getting to me, while my Donderbus Cavalry just do what they do best, and they are really starting to rack up a lot of kills. 179 on one, 145 on the other. And at this point, I'm going to get charged by the Hatakeyama, and I'm just going to let them charge. My Tersos can take these guys in melee. Even though it's a Yari Samurai, and that charge is going to hurt a little bit, I'm going to put in some Yari Ash to help, but my Tersos can turn that fight around. Like, they're pretty competent in a melee, especially even against a Yari Samurai. They got 16 morale, 19 attack, and 8 armor. Not bad at all. Like, not bad at all. So they're going to be doing just fine. See, at this point, the AI is using some Kisho Ninja, which is why my camera is shaking wildly. You can see my Nagi-Sam falling back just a little bit. But my Donderbus Cavalry continue to just absolutely mow down... Wow, I think the camera shake is a little bit over the top, CA. But anyway, they just continue to mow down enemies. And in fact, I'm going to try to use my cavalry to get at their Kisho Ninja here in a moment, but there's just so many juicy targets here for the Donderbus cavalry, and the AI is not even turning. Look at that, 238, 306 kills. I don't really want to fight the Kisho Ninja with my Nagi-Sam, because the Kisho Ninja are going to be very capable in a melee, and I don't want to lose a Nagi-Sam. So instead, as the AI charges closer to throw more bombs, I just go ahead and mow them down with the Donderbus cavalry. So they threw more bombs, shaking the screen wildly, but at the same time, they are getting absolutely decimated, and their bombs aren't really having a great effect on my Donderbus cavalry, who is now in position to completely finish them off. That's exactly what happens. My Yari cavalry and Nagi samurai from the other flank have also charged in, and we're doing pretty good there. We've pushed back the enemy. We have a decisive victory. Alright, and yet another epic victory for our general here. The Donderbus cavalry here leading the way because the AI decided to hill camp, so I like to show them what they get for their hill camping, which is very little. They just get a lot of searing hot lead from some of my most effective units for campers, and you can see that we were quite effective in destroying their army. Though it was able to flee back, we're going to have to annoyingly go do one more quick auto-resolve here. Get rid of their army once and for all so they don't do any raiding and destroying any ports or buildings or anything else back there. So they are now gone, and we're going to get back into the fight over here. Obviously, we still got to deal with this other army that they dropped off, though it clearly won't be terribly effective. It may not be a very long episode, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it for here. Give myself a little more time to get to editing this stuff. We've got a pretty big army here. The new daimyo, the Oda have a new daimyo about every other turn. And he is up here at Inaba, trying to siege us, and it's a rather crazy thought. I would love to see him lay siege to a castle being defended by this many Terkos. Not a very big castle, though, so it wouldn't be ideal. I'll probably sally out against them and crush them on open ground. Then we'll have to retake Mimasaka. And then I have my other army. I'm going to march this one in this direction. I think I will, because I've got an army down here on the southern side, so they won't be getting past me there. But anyway, I'm going to leave this off here for now. Hope you all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage signing out, and I'll see you again with some more OTOMO campaign soon. The wait won't be as long this time. See you then.